If you want to wear headphones, go ahead.
How will you listen then?
Listen. I can listen to you.
Yeah, but what about the conference?
Register. Just come in as a participant. I don't want you to be distracted by outside noises. So you know it's
What is going on?
they're
here?
singing or something.
Really?
Do what you're comfortable with.
No, I'm thinking of using the headphones
Yeah.
because
I think that's probably best.
do you want to log in also with just your headphones, please? Hi, Christine.
Hi.
Are you able to hear me?
Yeah, a bit broken, but could also depend on my system.
No, I can hear you very well.
Ah, that's good.
Good. How are you doing?
Fine. I did a handstand this morning, so I was that's one of my fear topics of my life, and I'm starting to manage it. So I'm starting to just not having any more fear with it, and so I think I'm moving on. So it's good to see in yoga. You can always see, like in singing, you can see what progress you're making while you're doing the same exercises.
Great.
Yeah, and I'm in a good mood.
Very good.
Yeah. Looking forward to our call.
Yeah.
Just came a bit late out of work. I had to prepare for my training tomorrow. And you?
I'm doing very well. Had a very good and relaxed weekend. We didn't do any work, just relaxed. Had a nice long brunch on both the days, and then watched a couple of good movies, and just relax. That's all. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
I had a big concert on Saturday with my a cappella
Fantastic.
choir.
Yeah, I keep seeing that on Facebook. It keeps
120,
popping.
yeah, 120 people came. So
Wow.
it was a good concert. Yeah.
Very good. What did you sing?
It's a cappella music. So it's the music we sing is Bee Gees, and also I see Fire, like the actual film of Lord of the Rings. And what else did we sing? Yeah, so we sing some actual things and some local music also, jazz music and pop
Very
music, and so yeah.
Which song did you sing of the Bee Gees? I really love them.
18 years.
Wow, yes, you said that.
Yeah.
The six appeal.
Yeah, for example, yeah, Bee Gees. Yeah. Oh, the internet connection is a bit broken here.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, hope this changes. Yeah, but it looks good. Okay. Yeah. Olaf said he wanted to come, huh? So we can speak about what we are going. Ah, there's
There's
he's
Olaf.
coming.
Hi, Olaf.
Hi, do you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. We don't see you, but we hear you.
Yeah.
Cool. Andrew, hi.
Hey,
Ah,
Olaf, hi.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. I'm just going to try and get the sound over my headphones and not over the... Hang on. There we go. Great, how are you?
Good. It's exciting. This is the first of a series of, or at least that's what we imagine, first of a series of conversations. And it's always exciting to start something new, and especially with an open invitation to see who is actually showing up and
Okay.
how things are emerging, developing, coalescing. And I love those things when you don't have a fixed plan, but things happen, things show up, and people show up.
You should have been a musician.
Well, I am not a very good one, but
Yeah, that's what happens in our world.
yeah.
Yeah.
We
Are
tend
you,
to,
Christina, are you a, nee, machen wir das auf Deutsch oder Englisch?
we speak English because Siraj is there and Susan, and so it's better that they can understand.
Okay.
So we speak English.
And
Okay.
there will be more people coming.
Okay.
I think 22 people said on Facebook they're interested. I don't know how many of them will actually come, but a few more.
Okay.
Wow, the cowboy is there. Hello, Mr. Eastwood.
Yeah, looks pretty scary.
Or is it Dr. Jones? This looks so cool.
Yeah,
I'm glad we are recording this.
yeah.
Actually, looks more like Gandalf now.
Yeah, it looks more like Gandalf, yeah.
Do you hear us, Reinhard?
Obviously not.
Gandalf with the red thing on his breast. How's everybody else? How are you, Siraj?
Fantastic, fantastic.
Which continent are you in currently?
Asia, I'm in India.
India. Okay, so you haven't traveled yet back to the US. Okay.
Hi, Andrew.
Hi, Sarai.
And hi, Renald.
Looks like he's frozen now, the picture.
Yeah, he's frozen.
Yeah. So we are going to start punctually at 4:30.
I think so.
Yeah.
Let's give people a minute to join, and then see what happens. My loosely held expectation is that we start with a check-in and then see what happens.
Did anybody prepare slides or?
Hello, everyone.
Did somebody ask me to prepare slides, right?
No, we'll just review the website, the Eventbrite page and the
Okay.
that venue page. I think that should be more than enough for this conversation.
Okay, so then I just open it.
Okay, that's true.
Yeah, let's hold it light.
Yes. Hi, Anton.
Hi, Anton.
Hi, Anton.
Okay.
I finished a 6-week course on clean space the week before last with Matthew Hudson, and that was pretty amazing.
A 6-week course?
Yeah, we had a meeting each week over 6 weeks. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Susan is in listening mode.
Yeah.
She had a fantastic and intense class today, and her voice is very tired. I get to do it all again tomorrow. Lovely, Susan. Good to have you with us.
Hi, Susan.
They're in India, and it's not midnight yet, but it's close to it, right?
9 o'clock.
9 o'clock. Oh,
Yeah.
why was I thinking it's midnight?
Not yet. We had scheduled something for midnight and then we changed it.
Ah, okay. Very considerate of us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the time for you there?
4:30 in the afternoon
Okay.
in Germany.
I think we can start. It's 4:30
Yes,
now.
absolutely. Absolutely. Christina, do you want to do an introduction?
Yes, sure. So welcome to our first call. We invited all those who are interested in our Temenos gathering, effect gathering we are going to do in October. And we wanted to get in contact with everybody who is into these opening safe spaces. And we wanted to present ourselves. We wanted to invite also some of our facilitators like Sylvia. She's just entering the space. And we wanted to discuss all those topics already. We wanted maybe to just already exchange some experiences we have, how to work in companies, and how to. That was one of my research topics in the last year. How to open a safe space in an unsafe environment, because I think the ideal situation that the company offers everybody a safe environment is very rarely met. And so the usual thing is that we do have some mixed environments, and we as coaches or consultants, we need to open such a space and just do it like hacking the culture, and then combining the different environments we are opening, and then maybe at the end having a big effect if we are lucky. So so we are really looking forward to work with all those people around the world now, and yeah, very curious who is going to show up and who is going to discuss with us about the topic. And awesome. we would like to do a check-in for the start to know a bit who is everybody, and maybe if you are already into the topic of safe spaces, and what maybe is your what is your intention in this small container we have now with you? Olaf, do you want to add something, or Siraj?
No, I'm writing it down for those who come. I hope they can read the chat.
Well, thank you, Christine. I think that was an awesome check-in. I'm so happy to see everyone. Some of you are familiar, some of you are new, so it makes it all the more exciting. Happy to be with all of you again. And I'm here for what I call as, my European supplication. I've got two great friends, Olaf and Christine. For the last 5 years or 6 years almost, we've been playing together. And it's time to play a little bit more bigger with all of you, both online and in October face-to-face. So I'm really excited, looking forward to this call and the other webinars that we might do, and to get to know all of you better. From my own side, I'm Siraj. I've been in this work that Christine calls creating safe spaces for a long time. And initially, I think I considered myself an expert of creating safe spaces for others. And then I realized I needed to save myself. So I started to create safe spaces for myself also, And then I, eventually started writing, talking, and sharing this with my friends. And I'm really, really privileged to work with some of the best and most humble people that I've met. And I want to continue doing that for the rest of my life. I'm right now in Asia Pacific in India, and I'll be here for the next week, and then maybe for the next web conversation that we do. If it's next week, then I'll be back in the US where I have some more work and some more activities around Temenos. What else? I have two daughters that I absolutely love. They are 25 and 20, and I think that becoming a father gave further impetus to me to want to create safe spaces for them and for everybody else. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you all, and looking forward to learning more. So I'm very curious and interested in this conversation. Checked in.
Welcome, Siraj.
Welcome.
Thank you. Hi, Silvana.
Okay, I can continue since I was the one who set up the invitation.
Yeah.
To introduce myself first. And I do not know how many of you do not actually have an idea what we are talking about. So I give very brief an explanation of the context. So Temenos is a Greek word for safe space. Siraj, who just spoke, used this as a name for a method that he has introduced me to in 2011, I think. Yes, 2011. I think it didn't have the name Temenos back then. And that method is a method that is used for individual growth, for team growth, for leadership development, and in organizations it's used to create safe spaces, to raise trust. Silvana has been running workshops at conferences about raising trust using this. We definitely have time to explain more about it later if you want to, but that's the context. And Christina and I went to a facilitator academy in 2013, and since then have been using this method all over Europe in various contexts with companies and teams and open seminars. And we've built our leadership academy on that method, which two of you, Silvana and Sylvia, and Scott, hi, have participated in. And since this is now growing and gaining momentum, we decided we want to have a gathering in Europe. Siraj has been hosting Temenos gatherings in India and in Boston, US. And in October, we're bringing it to Germany. And we have some intentions around what we want to do, but we also want, the main purpose of the thing is to build a community and to connect to you. So we are interested in what you would like to do, what you would like to learn, what you would like to bring. Maybe that thing grows bigger than the event locally in that small hotel in the middle of Germany, which can host about 80 or 90 people. We don't know. So we are absolutely open to wherever we are moving. And I'm really looking forward to this conversation. Haven't seen some of you in a while. So that's lovely, lovely of you to come. I'm in.
Welcome. Welcome.
Welcome.
Yeah, so maybe I add some personal words to my person. Yeah, Olaf and Siraj already gave an introduction about why we are here and what we are doing at the moment. Yeah, my name is Christine Neitert. I am a coach, and yeah, and since 3 or 4 years, I'm also a Temenos coach. And yeah, I'm fascinated by personal development, and our idea is to start with yourself and then to work with your closest connections, and then to work with the whole system. And yeah, and I always struggle with working with myself, and like for example, staying in a certain kind of discipline. And I just yesterday I went to the fitness center at 10 o'clock in the evening just to start again my fitness program, because I was unable in the last 4 weeks. I was ill and everything, and I had to work, and so it cost me a lot to start again. So but I said, okay, better start even if late, and it was great. So I think, and that's part of leading, and so that's our second thing, how to lead in a certain context, and that is something to open a new environment for people, that they can experience something new, and that they behave differently, and so it starts with yourself. So, and that's always not so easy. So I'm checked in.
Welcome.
Welcome, Christine.
Welcome. Thank you.
I can go next. I'm assuming that's a yes. I'm hearing a silence.
Yes.
And I see Christine nodding. Hello, everyone. And Siraj, I'm sorry I missed your introduction. I was logged into Olaf's other number. I'm Silvana Wasitova, Agile coach, transformation coach, and guide, and sounding board. And I have been involved, well, I met Siraj, what is it, 2014? No, 2012.
2012.
12. So that's when I first got introduced to Siraj's idea of Temenos. I found it fascinating then. And then I got reintroduced through Olaf and Christine's work. We did a whole academy of in an intensive, 3 intensive sessions over 3 weekends. So that was quite lovely and wonderful. And then met Siraj again last year in Boston. And I have been really, well, I found the Temenos work useful, not just for me, but also in little introductory pieces, what Olaf mentioned, that I've done little exercises in conferences with that, and people have found it useful. And with Olaf, we did the whole weekend in Prague last year. And I'm hoping, if all goes well, that we will get to do that again, whether it's in Prague or somewhere else. In Prague, we've just found a really great location that we will use for the Agile Coach Camp in May. And I'm hoping that goes spectacularly well, and we will test out this location to be useful for other either retreats or weekend discussions or explorations or self-growth or team growth activities. So I'm really excited, not just to see that this works, but also to contribute with my part with whatever I can contribute. And nice to meet the rest of you. I'm in.
Welcome.
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 Welcome. I can go next. I had the great privilege of attending the TrustTemenos Leadership Academy led by Olaf and Christine. And in the first iteration thereof, and now I know there are many more iterations, many more generations, so that's wonderful to hear. And Olaf and Christine were the ones that introduced me to Siraj and Susan and to the Temenos work. So I met Olaf through friends, and he was kind enough to come and do some coaching work that I was involved in, and then I came and did the academy, and he introduced me to Siraj and Susan and to Temenos generally, and my privilege to work closely with Siraj and Susan in Temenos Plus Agility. So I have a very warm connection to Olaf and Christina and the academy they founded, and a brand new and very exciting connection to Temenos Plus Agility. So I feel myself to be part of some wonderful systems here and places that have nurtured my soul over the last couple of years in beautiful ways, and all of which open up enormous opportunities, I think, for doing some great work in the world. So I'm really excited to be part of this circle, these interlocking circles. I was privileged to come to the session in Boston last year in May, I think, and be part of a gathering there, and then again just a few weeks ago in Bangalore. So I've seen a bit about the kinds of things that this can mean, and I'm really excited to be part of it. And it's wonderful to meet others of you who are coming from other circles that are somehow connected to this process, and to widen my network and my Temenos in that sense. But delighted to be here, and really excited about what could be created in this space. That's me. I'm Scott.
Welcome, Scott.
Welcome.
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 I feel I'm going to go next. I'm a bit surprised I got this invite from Olaf. I know Olaf via the Clean Language Circle. And I've got no idea what I'm letting myself in for. I'm that curious, and there must be a reason why Olaf has invited me. I like to experiment, and Olaf has been my guinea pig a couple of occasions. So it must have sparked something off, but I'm not quite sure what, but here I am. So I'm Shalon, and I'll be delighted to hear what emerges from today's conversation and meeting. I can't actually stay the whole time, but I'll be looking forward to connecting with other people and hearing what other gems they might bring. So there you go. That's what I am. Okay.
Yeah,
Welcome.
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 Yeah, welcome, Shalon.
Thank you. And this is a new welcoming tradition I hear. You say welcome and I'm in, meaning I'm present, or what does
Yeah.
I'm in mean?
Yes.
Yes.
Right, okay. Just checking.
I'm present and I'm committed to be present and I'm committed to engage.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah. Thank you for asking.
And also a little bit, I've just finished my check-in. It has a bit of an I have spoken quality to it.
Ah, okay.
I could follow because I've met Charlene and Scott over the clean language course as well. I wasn't really sure what I was getting myself into here, what was coming up, but I'm also somebody who's very happy just to jump in feet first and hope that the parachute opens or I grow wings on the way down. It happens most times. Done that often. I've had an interesting career in classical music, playing French horn in a symphony orchestra, mostly here in Germany and Cologne. I've had a really interesting long run with being bullied. So this theme of safe space is really interesting for me. Also because I have a severely handicapped son. And also just because of the way politics are developing in the world at the moment, I think it's an incredibly important issue, this safe space and being able to move around safely, regardless of race, regardless of where you come from, regardless of skin color, regardless of religion, all these kind of things. So I think that's, I'm very curious to see what's going on. And I'm out of the orchestra in October, so I might even have time. So, yeah, that's me a little bit, and I'm in. Nice to meet you all.
Welcome, Andrew.
Welcome.
Welcome, Andrew. Nice meeting you.
Okay, I can go next. Hi, my name is Anton. Live in Berlin now. I'm an agile coach. Heard about TrustTemenos last year from Olaf, but not in a huge amount of details. Was quite curious when got an invite without any discussions, anything like that. Okay, that could be curious. So I decided to jump into this surprise, and I'm curious to see what I will get here. So I'm in.
Welcome.
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 Good to see you.
So
Welcome, Anton. Nice to see you.
I'll go ahead and jump in. So I'm Sylvia. I'm also based here in Berlin. Have come from Seattle. So I've only been in Berlin recently. Recently, I say that because it's still after 18 months feels recent. And I was one of the folks who was lucky enough to be in the first Temenos Leadership Academy that Olaf and Christine put together. And so that was sort of my first introduction into Temenos, and it fit right into so many of the other tools and techniques and explorative tools that I have and I use and I love to essentially do just that, create safe space. I had, I guess, the good fortune or the bad fortune to start my career with a lot of working in a lot of dysfunctional companies with dysfunctional managers. And I always felt like there's got to be a better way. So I went and got my master's in human and organizational development. And even after that, I was like, this is kind of broken and kind of old. There's got to be a new and better way. So I'm always looking for new and better. And when I discovered Temenos through Christine and Olaf, I was like, this is one of those tools. It's iterative, it's open, it's connecting, it's safe. And wow, look at this community of people. It's connecting and interconnecting. These are my kind of people. And so I wasn't quite sure either what are we going to do next? But as I jumped in to come to Berlin, I am not a person that's risk adverse. And so I'm jumping in with everyone here, curious to see not only what I can learn, but also what can I add? What can I share? What can I help with? And how can I make all the space more safe and fun? So that's me. I'm in.
Welcome, Sylvia.
Welcome.
Thanks.
Welcome.
Yeah, welcome. Sue.
Welcome. I've got
Okay, then
only,
then
yeah,
Reinhard.
Reinhard, yeah.
Yeah, all right. So my name is Reinhard Kirchner. I'm located near Düsseldorf at the moment. I basically, I'm pretty curious about this since I have not too much of an idea besides meeting Olaf twice this year and Christine on the Pay for Agile, and was pretty impressed with meeting those folks. And so I'm not quite sure what to expect and how this is going to be turned out, and if this is something that I'm wanting to join in or not. So I'm not yet decided, and I'm basically curious to listen what this is going to be about and what the ideas are for the conference. I'm in.
Welcome.
Welcome,
Welcome.
Reinhard.
Welcome.
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 Reinhard, that's exactly why we are doing these calls, because we wanted to just open a space for everybody who's not fully informed, and we only wanted to get to talk and to connect. I only wanted to do one comment for in the case of somebody didn't found the gallery view on the right side, then you can see all the speakers. I hope you have found it already, whoever didn't use Zoom before.
Top right of the Zoom window, there's a button called Gallery View, and if you click on that, you see everybody side by side or face by face.
Okay,
I forgot to
sorry
mention-
for having no video because I'm on the car and driving, so I'm on audio only.
Oh, we had a so wonderful impression of you, Gandalf-like, walking through the woods with your head in the beginning. And it's all on video now. It's
Oh, that's great.
it really looked awesome. I will share it with you later. You will love it.
Okay.
Okay, does it make sense to, for the people who haven't experienced it yet, give a quick summary of what Temenos is and then of how we want to build that into a conference? Do you want me to do that? Do you want to do that, Siraj?
I think you should do it, Olaf, and then I'll jump in, and I'm sure all of us will jump in.
So Temenos is basically just another excuse to share stories. To share stories in a way that is very deep, that is very connecting, that is potentially very personal, and that gives you a chance to have additional perspectives when you look at yourself and your life, with the purpose to have more ownership of it, with the purpose to have more authority in the sense that you are authoring your story. The way it works is in 3 stages of phases. We look at the past, the present, and the future. When we look at the past, we're figuring out what influenced us in terms of who we are, how we are showing up now. That can be a very general question, or it can be very focused. For instance, in the academy, when we look at leadership, we ask the question, where in my life did I meet my inner leader? That's one way to look at your biography. You could have different ways to look at your biography, but Temenos offers you different lenses depending on what you want to achieve, what you want to work on. In the present, we are creating a clean slate to kind of start afresh again. Either when you want to look at your life in total, you can say, okay, I want to start something new. That would be a clean slate. Or when you, for instance, look at your leadership and you look at the context in which you are leading or want to lead, you could look at that specific context and say, in my team, I want to be that kind of leader, and there are things that are holding me back. And with the purpose of cleaning the slate, we look at two different questions. One question is, how do I fail the system? And the other question is, how does the system fail me? So that we see both sides of a coin of where the system is currently stuck in old patterns, in old habits, in assumptions, expectations, presuppositions that basically create all of that clutter that either doesn't let us see where we want to go, or it doesn't let us go, or whatever. So it's maybe a fog, or it could be lots of kind of things. When you've worked with clean language, you have lots of opportunities there to exploit and explore things both ways with Temenos and clean. They work extremely well together. And then, based on what you have discovered in your biography and in your clean slate, in your presence, you look into the future and basically ask yourself, what do I want? What is it that I want to be? What is it that I want to have? What is it that I want to have happen? Again, depending on the purpose of the whole tour, so to say. In each of those stages, you will be in a group of people, you will be reflecting and drawing something, creating a so-called influence map or awareness map, where you map out your understanding of that context, of that question. And in the second phase, you get time to share this with the peers in the group. It's mostly done in small groups, like in team-size groups. And you get feedback from the others. They help you explore what you have discovered and what you want to discover. And that's the same throughout all of these stages. So you have a phase of introspection, a space of visualization, and a space of articulation and listening, and compassionately helping each other to move forward. That's the basic mechanics of Temenos in, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes. And what we want to do in that conference is we want to form focused groups. There might be a group of people who want to do it in German. There might be a group of agile coaches who want to focus on their specific challenges. We are trying to get a group of young people, something like 16 to 24. I have a 17-year-old daughter, so there's some selfish interest there. So that we could have a group of young people. Maybe there's a group of women who want to work together, or a group of men. Maybe there's a group of executives or people who want to talk about leadership. So these are ideas that we have, depending on how many and what kind of people are coming. We will form these groups. From the academy and other events, we have a lot of people who know how to facilitate this process. So there will be two facilitators per group facilitating this progress over 3 days. So that will mainly be what's happening. We meet on Friday late morning, introduce ourselves, form groups, work Friday afternoon, Saturday and Sunday in those groups with opportunities to meet and mingle in between. It's a lovely space in Spessart. This is north of Bavaria, close to Frankfurt, top of a mountain location, 4-star food, hotel. So that's the basics. That's what we intend to have happen. And
Olaf, I'd like to add 2 things to what
Sure.
you've said. I think one thing I'd like to add is that we want to create a space of democracy and not have the artificial line between the participants and facilitators. So everybody is going to tell their stories in the 3 spaces that you mentioned. And everybody gets to practice how to create small group safe spaces. And then we are hoping that, as we do this in a larger group, which is, hopefully we'll get about 50, maybe 60 people, we're also building competencies of creating safe spaces in a slightly larger group. And then hopefully we'll come back again next year and build again and again. And we'll build the capacity for people who want to create these safe spaces, and we'll just continue doing it. On one hand, it's happening in a small group in, let's say, a Temenos Leadership Academy of 8 or 9 people. Then it's happening in maybe 50 or 60 people in the TrustTemenos Effect gathering in October. But guess what? It's also happening in Boston. It's also happening in Bangalore in India. And we are hoping that we'll be able to create what at least I call as changed agents. You know, people who have been able to work on themselves, and then as a result of that, they are able to work with small group, medium-sized group, large group, extra large group, and then even larger groups. And I think if there is an intention that we want to disclose, I think it's to create competency in these changed agents at different levels, you know, starting with self, pair, triad, small group, medium-sized group, and then go above that. So maybe the open intention I'd like to share is the ability to build competency for changed agents, depending on whatever you know, scale of safe spaces they want to work on. Christine, do you want to comment on that?
Yes. When Andrew spoke, I resonated very much. Like he said, okay, we will need this capacity, we will need this skill more and more at the moment, and I think we can really use it in our professional work, but we can also use it to take care of democracy, like Siraj said. I think we really need this type of capacity. Also, we need it with our partners. Like at the moment, we are leading the second generation of the academy, and we invited our partners, Olaf's wife and my husband, to build a safe space between us, because that's this after yourselves, that's this second biggest challenge you can do, and then go beyond that and try to build with others. And I'm so happy that at the moment I'm working in an IT company, and I tried to hack the culture there and see how people are behaving if they see, okay, I didn't do it. There's somebody who did it, and there was no official allowance to do that, but she just did it, and it's possible. And see if people are following and are trying to offer also safe spaces for others and to motivate them, and to I think it's not enough at the moment, the kind of speed we have to create those safe spaces. So we need to fasten up a bit and be quicker and have more impact. And I think that's something I really hope for, that via creating these type of offers, we get a better connection to all those people who are into the topic and connect them better, and that we can link and have a better impact through our work together.
In the classical music world, the single most common element is fear. The whole thing runs on this ugly energy of fear. The weekend before last, I was participating in a horn course. There are almost 100 of us there. And I had a group that I was conducting, and just exactly that. My whole thing, I'm not a conductor. I do it once a year when I do this course. But the whole, my whole goal there was to create a safe space, not knowing this was coming, for the people playing. And the feedback that came back from this, just unreal. And also for me personally, my wife works in a women's shelter, an autonomous women's shelter. So I get a lot of stories, not nice stories, ugly stories, where safe space is at a premium. So it's going to be very interesting for me talking with people about all of this and getting ideas as well to be able to share with my wife. So I'm very curious about it.
Andrew, thank you for bringing that up. You brought it up from the context of your experience and the world of classical music and the women's shelter. But I think this is such a human basic experience that fear can condition people and overpower and even become this almost the de facto influencer. So what I find useful in our past conversations is that this idea of bringing and creating and guarding and nurturing the safe space becomes top of mind. It, I mean, Siraj can even attest, we've even had conflict about how safe the space is and what language is safe and how to clarify intent and language and demeanor and how we joke with each other. So what I find very useful about the work that Siraj, Olaf, Christine have introduced me to is that this discussion about safe space, it's not just the words that we say, it's not just our intention, but we actually not just do it, but we look for opportunities to be better at it. And so thank you for your comments that clarified for me that this is what it's about.
Running on from what Andrew is saying, I'm coming from the world of health. I'm a health professional. I'm a physiotherapist by background, and I mainly see people who've been involved in road traffic accidents. But there's definitely, well, nearly being a physio for over 20 years. So I've definitely seen this general trend of fear and anxiety amongst managing own health. There is less and less I see, there is less and less focus on what can I do? How can I manage it well? What works well for me at this moment in time? And we have a whole social pressure in this country here in the UK, whereby people are very much driving their loved ones and others to doctors very early on. And in my work, I suppose I am creating a safe space. I let people open up about all sorts of things that's got relevance for them and causes some physicality and some disturbance. And I've had a really interesting kind of conversation with a consultant recently about, you know, how in their organization there is this lack of trust amongst the SHOs, and then you've got the registrars, and then you have the consultants above that. And we were talking about, he's a parent, and it was very interesting about this division really, or developmental trend, that there are some similarities in terms of how we treat the SHOs like children and the registrars like teenagers, and it's only when you get to the consultant stage that we actually communicate with them as adults, which is obviously not how it should be, but that's currently what we're doing. And I've had a discussion about my personal perspective in terms of how we've actually treated a lot of our clients as children, and we've not given them the right tools to become self-sufficient and self-reliant. So therefore we have created this dependency on us. And it's not about trying to get more doctors and nurses and so on. Yes, obviously there is a growing population that is aging. However, what's lacking is the education really, and the focus and attention in terms of how things can be managed differently. So from personal experiences and so on, I have guided people who have very, very high and strong levels of anxiety, and to bring them down to a point whereby they can self-manage, that gives me the greatest satisfaction really. And I think having had this discussion with another health professional, it was very much about like, you have to be very careful. Like, you know, it's always an incredible ego booster to make somebody better. However, to what purpose are you doing it? I said, because if it's just for you to feel better about yourself, they're going away and becoming extremely reliant on you. And when you're not there, they're panicking. They're panicking like mad. So in the past, when I was doing new courses and so on, I had this experience where somebody felt so much better, but then I was on holiday and he couldn't access me and he was in complete distress. So it's changed my practice. And so we need to sort of think about, like, when we help people, is sort of like, you know, what will they gain in the long term, not in the short term. It's good to put them on the right track, but what are they gaining long term is always my perspective now when I see clients and so on. And I wonder, because I tend to work with either very small groups or a more one-to-one kind of person, how maybe I could gain more skills that could expand some of my knowledge and skills that I have and could share with others, because of desperate need in healthcare, for sure. And maybe it's more a humanistic trend rather than a compartmentalized kind of field that we need to address. And I also wonder, when you were talking about focus group, it's very much mixing people with the same kind of problems together. However, if you look at the School of Design and the innovation and so on, it's very much a mix of people with very different backgrounds, and getting them to work together, because you've got such a different perspective, and it's unpicking all these different perspectives, how that would work, isn't it? So, you know, this is just my little story and my little perspective. And yeah, I'm curious as to how other people view this.
So I'm totally overwhelmed by how similar your challenges and learnings are when you're in such a totally different line of work. So I work with organizations, do change management or whatever you would call it, help organizations transforming. And regarding this, treating people with respect, treating people as adults, that's something that I've learned multiple times. So first of all, coming into an organization and not thinking that they don't know what I know, that's the first thing. And then getting trapped in lots of us versus them games within the organization. For instance, working with teams who say, our managers don't get it, so you start treating the managers like kids, or you're dealing with the management and management is treating the employees like kids because they think that they need to be shepherded or whatever. So there's so much of that, and so very, very similar learning journey for me. And I know that's true for at least five more people in the room. And then, yeah, there's this responsibility thing with having somebody or an organization or system being dependent on you as a consequence, and learning to set and keep a boundary that works, that supports them, but doesn't make them dependent. That's also a really, really interesting and recurring topic. I don't think we ever stop learning how to improve that. Yeah, and then the focus group thing, we've actually had that conversation, and it's a conversation that comes up again and again in any kind of large group facilitation. How do you split people into groups? Depends on what you want. My experience is that in any group of 5 to 10 human beings, you will have so many similarities and so many differences that it actually doesn't matter if you pick them out by one common trait or not. The interesting thing that the one common trait does is it immediately raises the trust, because they think they are with like-minded people. So my assumption is that it will not limit the diversity of exploration and surprises and lovely new things they find out about the human range of possibilities. but it will give them a kind of step up into the step of trust because they feel comfortable about one thing they have in common with everybody else going in. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Thank you.
And we're absolutely open to, if some people say we want to be the random group, that's that's lovely too.
Plus, I expect that once the session actually happens, depending on who's there, the groups that may form may still bring additional surprises.
Yes, they will. They're human.
And I don't think that we all find ourselves in just one group, right? We're not all just a part of the place we work. We also have our family and however else we, categorize ourselves, whether that's by our job title or by our sport or by our creative passion or whatever. And I think that the interesting thing will really be how those interconnected circles connect and finding those overlaps of people.
Sylvia, that makes me think of, I only know one other Czech Indonesian modern mystic feminist.
Awesome.
And I don't know any other.
Pretty good if you know one. I think that's pretty good besides you. I thought you were unique.
Yes.
Oh, I know.
I thought you were the only one, Silvana.
Lovely. So I definitely like to keep the question that Sylvia just asked as a question for the design of the event. How do we have the different focus groups connect? I think we have some opportunities, for instance, in the evenings in the bar. And since we are in a venue that is on the top of a mountain, we don't have anywhere else to go. There is a likelihood that people will meet, some people will know each other, etc. But maybe we can design something that actually lets people cross-pollinate between the different groups.
Well, one question that I would find interesting is which aspect of you has not spoken recently or not spoken enough, and that would identify an opportunity, or that could identify an opportunity. Because for example, I'm visible as a woman, but there are some aspects of that I would only speak about either when the time is right for me or when I feel that the environment is right to speak up, right?
Yes. Christine?
Yeah, I've seen your comment.
You seem to want to say something. I thought so. Okay.
Yeah, I just had the idea of, the morning ritual, like bringing everybody together, and like we did at Play for Agile and morning meditation, and I can see that that we can offer that for everybody. That would be great, and I would like also to see people really from all kinds of different sectors in our world. Like, I would like really to see people coming from the politics sector, from social topics, from health topics, from classic music. That's awesome, and all have all this diversity in the gathering. And I think this is only the first gathering, and if we come up during the gathering for another idea for the next one, and I think this will happen, then we have even a better idea for the second one in Europe. And I think I love diversity, and that's part of my job. So I really can relate to what Sean said.
What I can offer, we've been talking a lot about diversity. I can offer one common pattern across all kinds of people who have been attracted to this work. And that's the pattern that I call as the wounded healer. And if you look at all the people over here, each one of us has a gift. And it's a gift in the most unique fashion with which we create safe spaces, or what I call as the healing function. And we have our unique wounding and our unique pain that we bring into this work. So why not just continue the conversation of telling stories in small groups and in the whole group?
Mm-hmm.
I think we are here to tell stories, so might as well just continue. You have a small group to bond with your focus group, and then you have evening conversations with the whole group where you just stand up and tell your stories every day.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sarai, that reminds me of the Aboriginal culture in Australia. That was their evening ritual, sitting around a fire, or whatever, and just talking. And they have the most amazing, what survived it, of course, oral culture that's been verified by scientists now. Things that took place 10,000 years ago, where the sea level rose 120 meters and took away a lot of land, and this kind of thing. They've kept that over an oral tradition. So that's something very, very powerful, I think. Very
beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I love it. Thank you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Andrew, I think we were some Siamese cats somewhere in the past, maybe. Because somebody in New Zealand actually tipped me on trauma releasing exercises. And
okay.
that whole kind of treatment form, if you like, actually stems from cultures where there is no psychologist or social network to deal with people who've gone through traumas. So this guy actually looked at how do these cultures deal with it, and the ones who were dealing really well were the ones who were sharing the stories of trauma. So that's been traditionally done, really, and that's a way. That's the coping and way in which people actually manage their traumas in tribes and so on. So yeah, it's not just there; it's in multiple areas, really. So yeah, great minds, I think. Yeah, great stuff.
And from what I know about that stuff, that they share their stories, but it's a very embodied experience. So the trauma releasing exercises are about shaking.
Yeah.
And the bodily movement that's involved in releasing that. And I know very little about that, but what I know about it is quite fascinating, that embodied quality of healing.
Scott, it's also very powerful. I've done a whole lot of stuff to cope with what I went through at work, and I can't think of his name at the moment, but it's called TRE in capital letters, what this guy done. And he was a physiotherapist working around the world, for natural disasters, war, this kind of thing. And I've actually done a lot of shaking on the floor, getting the psoas muscles going. And the effect is quite phenomenal. It's really good stuff, yeah.
Yeah, but Bocelli, is it Bocelli? Bocelli. Yeah.
David Bocelli, I think.
Bocelli, that's it.
Bocelli, yeah. David Bocelli, yeah.
That's it.
There's a couple of tapes on YouTube from him also. It's fantastic stuff.
Interesting. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, the comparison was made with why do animals not get ulcers? Like why don't giraffes get or zebras get ulcers? It's because they shake. So when they're fearful, the shaking takes place, and therefore it's a very human kind of, or it's a very physiological response to fear and anxiety. And humans can do this too. So this exercise actually does that. So it teaches you how to, let your body shake in a certain frequency that's natural to it. Yeah, and it does all sorts of things. But I'm not an expert in it. I just know of it.
And the interesting thing also about that with music is the psoas muscles are the muscle groups that connect the upper body with the legs. And they're also the muscles that store a lot of fear if we don't get rid of it. So as a musician, the other thing with the psoas muscles is that they're attached to the diaphragm at the spine. So any tension you've got in there, also with your posture, if you've got your legs turned out and that kind of thing, any tension you have in the psoas muscles tightens up the diaphragm as well. So it limits our resonance potential. And for me as a wind player and singers, all these kind of people, you really need to have all of that part of your system free as possible to get the best possible sound out of your body. And it's really, really interesting working with people, getting them into a standing position where they've relaxed their bodies and they access their maximum resonance potential. I did it the weekend before last, about 9 people, one after another on 3 consecutive days. And the look on their face when they experience the sound they can make of amazement, and some of them, again, with fear because they think that's not me, it challenges their self-image. But it's fascinating, the whole thing. Also, this total interconnectedness of mind, body, soul. It's fascinating.
Yeah.
Wow.
Sounds great.
Yeah, we got into really a lot of topics already. That's fascinating. Yeah.
Awesome.
And we do like this interconnectedness between bodies, mind. I think that's really something really important, and I think it's concerning of the Temenos work. I like really to connect that more and more, the body work and the mind work. Yeah. So how about time?
And the hour is already over. Time flies with interesting conversations. So our intention is to have a conversation like this, potentially with a growing audience, potentially with diving deeper into these specific topics about once a month, so we keep connected and that we grow an intention, grow a community. Happy if you are curious enough to register for the conference already, but also happy if you're still skeptical or waiting or just curious about these conversations and talk with us. And maybe spread the word if you like it.
Yes, Ivana, you had something?
Quick question. This trauma release exercise, the TRE, what's the David Bocelli? Is that, how do you spell the last name?
Maybe you can type it in the chat, Andrew.
Andrew or?
Yeah.
If somebody knows the last name, just trying to find that source. Thank you. That's it for me.
Okay.
Multiple ways of spelling, maybe.
Yeah, we'll
If you just Google YouTube and trauma releasing exercise, you will find it for sure.
Okay.
I'd say I was in YouTube and couldn't find it. That's why I
Oh,
asked.
you couldn't. Oh.
Okay. I didn't try this spelling. Thanks.
Okay.
So I take the task of asking Sholan and Andrew afterwards to get a link if we don't find it, and transfer it to the rest of us.
Sure.
We recorded this meeting. I will share the recording with you through the Facebook event. If you have not registered through the Facebook event, let me know, and then I'll share the link with you via email.
Okay.
Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for showing up.
All
Great
right.
that you have been here.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you
you.
everyone. See you again very soon.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.